Oh my gosh, hello. How is everybody? Can you hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Yes, 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 yes. We are audible, which is good. No lefty audio today. Oh my gosh, excuse me. I have like a burp that is like trying to happen, but it's like trying to make fetch happen, but it won't happen. Oh my goodness. Anyway, forgive me for being a huge fucking dork for a second there, as per usual. Hello. We've got people in here today to say hello to. Oh my gosh. Spider and Decoy Duck and Mersh and Analia and Nuvenal. Hello. Morningstar Plural. Hello. And Baphomet. Baphomet is here. Good. Stream didn't start for me for some reason. Yeah, sometimes the website just doesn't it just doesn't do it automatically for some reason. And of course, we must say a cursory hello to the YouTube chat, where we have Spacer's Choice, Damien, Jimmy Nails, Paul Hack. Hello. So today, first of all, can y'all just right up top of the stream, go ahead and hit like really fast on the YouTube page, and then come over to the website chat if you're not already on the website chat. If you're on mobile, I will forgive you for staying on the YouTube chat because it does not work quite the same. But today, first of all, we're going to chill because frankly, I, as a queer person, you know that thing where the train wreck is ongoing and you just can't look away, and when you accidentally make it your job to continue looking at all the horror happening on the timeline, and you're like, oh shit, all right, great. So after the shooting and everything, it's just been a rough couple of days, clearly. So instead of focusing on that up top, I would like to, just clear our heads, just chill for a little bit, just talk about normal stuff as we do usually. That's how we typically start our streams, is by hanging out and chilling for, at least 30 minutes. So that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to leave it. All right. We're just going to leave it for now. I am excited about Thanksgiving this year because I have decided to say, fuck it. I'm not going to go do family stuff this year. And I've decided I'm going to go ahead and make my own Thanksgiving dinner at home. And I'm excited to do that. I got some Cornish hens. I'm going to make a sweet potato pie. I'm going to make green beans in a way I've never made before. I'm going to make gravy and probably mashed potatoes, but maybe not complicated potatoes. I might just do the usual instant potatoes that I do because it doesn't need to all be fancy and complicated. All right. Mashed potatoes are fucking mashed potatoes. I don't feel like they need to be incredibly fancy. Mashed potatoes, best potatoes. Best potatoes. Yes, true. Hello, Dank Gang 420 comfy hype. Yes. I was excited to do family stuff this Thanksgiving until I heard I got Rona exposure. Well, it's good that you're making the safe decision. Oh, Game Gang. Hey, how's it going? I love spending holidays on my own. Hope you treat yourself and have a nice time. I am really I'm gonna just spend time in the kitchen, which is something that I really enjoy doing. I actually enjoy cooking. I know it's not everybody's bag of tea. But it is my thing that I enjoy. I finally made it to affording rent. Fuck yes. I am so nervous about this winter because I'm going to be totally supporting myself off of the tips that I make on stream and off of the ad money that I'm making off of YouTube, which is actually better than usual right now. So, we're going to see how it goes. I'm doing my best to hold on to as much of my money as I can right now. Just in case things go weird, because everything gets weird during the winter with your YouTube analytics. I don't know if y'all know that, so we're just going to see how it goes. Hollow says Hollow System gets to do it without family for the first time, just the friends that we've gathered with intentionally. Yes, absolutely. It's just going to be me and my person. The lighting now is so pretty. Is it really? Is it just because I have the lights off in the background? Do they really worsen the experience? Got a bottom surgery consult. Ooh, hell yeah. Do we actually like this less? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, that's awesome though. I am I got all the paperwork to start filling out for the bunk clinic, and then I got all nervous about it. So I'll get around to it eventually. I have all the paperwork. It's fine. Jimsy says I got to spend my first time in a mosh pit. That's fun. I went to a concert last year in November or December. I can't remember when it was. And it was fun. Masks were required at the time at the venue. So just a compliment doesn't mean better or worse. Okay. Well, I was just saying I wonder if the lighting on the wall behind me makes the wall or makes the lighting look different. So if it, if it looks good one way and not the other, Anyway, yeah, so I'm psyched about that. I am trying to clean up my kitchen a little bit because I actually had my younger sibling over this weekend, and I forced him to cook meals and stuff. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm sure that you've never fried chicken in a cast iron pan before, so I'm gonna make you do that so that you have like a, getting outside your comfort zone within a completely controlled environment kind of situation. I was like, I'm completely confident. Like, you have no reason to be non-confident. Oh, good night, Baphomet. Spending time with a dear friend. Oh, that's great. That's a great idea. Do that. Just can't escape the bisexual lighting on LeftTube. It's true. I like this. It's kind of more cyberpunk to me, or like vaporwave, but I guess vaporwave is trans culture, so, or biculture maybe. Lighting is kind of interesting and artsy tonight. It complements your painting in the background. Oh, speaking of, I'm gonna be moving soon. I'm gonna be setting up my office. Obviously I'm gonna take a little bit of time off streaming probably while I wait for internet to get set up at the new place and everything. But one of the things I'm excited about is like I'm gonna change around the background for sure. Like the painting, I like the painting, but I think it's a little bit too busy for the frame. So I think it's gonna go somewhere else in my new space, but I am enjoying thinking about those type of things. I'm like, oh, this is where the plants are gonna go. This is where my desk is gonna go. I am excited about that. If you're interested in helping out with my move, go ahead and hit !move on the website chat. And there are links for you to help out. I love planning stuff like that. Yeah, it's making it easy for me to be optimistic about it. Because fundamentally, like, let's not forget that what's happening is that my partner and I are separating and seeing how that goes. So that's the bummer part. But I'm looking forward to the getting to decorate part. That's going to be good. I'm going to the thrift store all the time, like checking out if there's cool stuff that I can grab to decorate. And like, not just random stuff, but like stuff that you need. Like, I really need like, canisters for flour and sugar that go on the countertop, but I didn't want to just buy any old ones. So I went to the thrift store a bunch of times before I ended up finding some that I liked. And I was like, nope, those are the right aesthetic. I'm glad I waited and I found the right ones. Oh, camera is going to be weird today, apparently. Don't worry about it. Yes, the stuff that you need but don't think of. For true, Phoebe. Fell into a rabbit hole of Nightcore the other day, starting with the Every Time We Touch song. Oh, man. Oh, Cascada throws me back, y'all. Oh, bro. I don't know if you know, like, I don't think I can sing it. My voice is too dry today. At least I can't sing it on octave, but that song that's like, 'cause every time we touch, I get this feeling. Like that one, it really just, I get transported back like 15 years. I missed the communism stream. Well, Venusian, I'm going to try to have that up. I'm actually going to try to catch up on the VODs tomorrow because I have most of them uploaded. I just have to go through and get the titles and everything all set up and then make them public. So. Oh, wait, no, the communism stream, isn't that the one that I posted a video for today? Because the actual stream wasn't much longer than that, Cool. Oh, gosh. Everyone's like, pink, blue, where's the purple and teal gang? I don't like teal, to be honest. I just am not a huge fan of teal. I like purple and green sometimes, but purple and green is like hard to do without it coming off really Joker. You know what I mean? Like, just doesn't work very well. I like the idea of having pink and blue in my background because it, I feel, makes it even more unclear to people whether I'm AFAB or AMAB. Like I had someone, I just posted it in the Discord, which if you're not a member of the Discord, you can get pings for when we go live. It's the most reliable way through the Discord link in the description or up top if you're on the website. But I posted on there and on Twitter, like this comment that had been caught in the automatic filter by YouTube that was like, it was on one of my videos recently about a detransitioner, and it was about the detransitioner who had like a really bad result with their bottom surgery on the NHS, and they were really like upset about it and turned that around to be like against trans healthcare in general and like J.K. Rowling's the best and stuff like that. Someone posted on that like, oh, I can tell by like how insensitive you are that like you're still just a macho man inside. Like I was like, LOL, okay. Obscure that line though. It's very vogue to be genderfuck for sure. I would have joined the Discord a year ago, but I've really lost my tolerance for public Discord servers. That's fair. Yeah, no pressure or anything. I just want to point out all real communism is anarchistic, but not all anarchism is communistic. Okay, interesting. Morningstar System also has a friend who cannot tell their assigned gender at birth. That's so fun. Yummy. Hail hydrate. Always drink water, y'all. I've been really enjoying the water with lemon. It's really working for me. It's probably fucking up my teeth, if I had to guess, but I'm just trying to brush my teeth more often to account for that. Okay, so y'all are just coming in here recently. Like, we always hang out in the beginning of the stream and just kind of like chill. But we are going to be talking about the news here soon, probably in about 10 or 15 minutes. So if you want to stick around, that's when we're going to get into it. Does anyone else hear that beeping occasionally? Is there a beeping occasionally? I don't think I am hearing anything. Please let me know at what intervals this beeping is occurring. Thank you. Anyway, hey, just going to get some snacks. Yeah, I would say snacks are probably going to be a good thing tonight. Oh, and by the way, I also want to say, so we're going to start on the actual news section, you know, probably at about either 6:30 or 6:40-ish. We're just going to try to enjoy each other's company to start off with. And then the actual segment, like we're only going to do one main segment tonight. And once it's done, I'm probably going to get off stream pretty shortly after that because it's going to be a really tough stream. I think it's going to be really difficult. And I have plans for after the stream to wind down in a safe environment and where I'm going to like have my person around. So I would say that is the thing that you all should plan to do, generally speaking, throughout the week this week, is like have your plan for your safe space so that you can like have a place where you're not necessarily constantly dealing with like the news and Twitter and just the awareness of the bad stuff going on, right? Appreciate you making sure this is a safe space before you launch into the news. Yeah. I finally got my first doctor's appointment for HRTD yesterday. Yes, be coy. Congratulations. I'm so psyched for you. It's going to be hopefully a pretty rapid process after that, right? Like, are you going to somewhere that's informed consent? Because that would be great if you could just start immediately. When I first got tea, when I went to get it, like when I went to go get my prescription, like talk to the doctor for the diagnosis and the prescription, she was like, oh yeah, so I'll give you your prescription. Let me get that printed out for you. Do you want to go ahead and get your first shot today? And I was like, bet I do. Thank you. Show me how to do it correctly, please. Hey, Jamie Nails hopped over to the website. Hello. Naomi just said, got a letter for bottom surgery. My date is March 1st. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm so excited. Like you all here are like getting your bottom surgery consults, your first doctor's appointments, your bottom surgery dates. Listen, we're over here making progress. We're building ourselves a new life worth living. All right. Every day. That's what we're here to do. It's getting harder and harder to get the confidence to strike out and assert my identity. I can understand that, Jim C. I could for sure understand that. Is being in both chats cheating? No, I guess not. I appreciate it. I think technically it's good for both the website and the YouTube stream if you do that. So yeah, I'm not going to complain. Gage says, watching as I recover from top surgery. High five. my friend. I hope that you're doing well. I'm YouTube gang until I get back to my desk. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, I'm so excited for you all. So far, only one person has asked why my name change happened. I mean, is that good or bad? Does that mean that people are not taking an interest in you, or how do you keep track of both? Well, I have both of them open on. So I have two monitors. Like, this is my main monitor. It's about this big, right here, and then this is my secondary monitor, which is over here. And so I just have both of them on the screen. I honestly am ready for a third monitor though. Like this upcoming year, if I can save up enough money and afford it, there are going to be some changes that need to happen. I need to upgrade my computer and or start building a second computer, and I need to get another monitor. Like things need to start evolving because this is my full-time thing. So that would drive my ADD absolutely nuts. I mean, yeah, I dream of a world where I can mostly ignore the YouTube chat. Like, you know, website chat is better. Website chat is based. We have cool color names. You can directly support me monetarily through the website. Website is better. We have better emojis. Anyway. Someone's saying they manufacture wind turbine blades. That sounds awesome. And then there's dicks. It's true. We have dicks on the website. Exactly. Decoy Duck. I think you beat me to it. See, we all know why the website is the better thing. It's I have just as much validity as Vosh because I have a Vosh-like website maintained by the same person who maintains Vosh's website. Oh gosh. Luxander.net. I should plug it more. I had the panel on Sunday. I don't know if any of you all were here on Sunday, but we spoke with Star Panda about PTSD, and then we also had like an all trans panel, generally just kind of talking about a bunch of different things. And toward the end of it, I always forget to plug that I have a website. I'm always like, oh yeah, get me at Luxander Real. Numpty, thank you so much. Send love from Scotland to all of my queer family. Thank you. We appreciate it. It's like not like great in Scotland either, because Scotland is Scotland under the governance that like is looped into the NHS, because that means like healthcare is just as dicey for you all over there. But thank you so much. I'm gonna update this number. I like you better than Voshlux. Yeah, I mean that's why you're here, right? I assume that because it's a day ending in Y that Vosh is streaming currently. That is my assumption. I appreciate. I just switched to the website. This looks nice. Yeah, it's so easy on the eyes. Thank you for joining us over here, Nayajura. I feel like I'm too lazy for gender things, even about pronouns. Just need a gender therapist or someone to talk to about it, so maybe I can figure things out. Yeah, I mean, if you're not super motivated, then yeah, I could see it not being worth it, you know, to like, you know, bother experimenting with it very much. I'm not as gender apathetic as I would like to be, but I'm getting there, you know. Lux's use of slurs is far more tactical than Vosh's. True. I feel like I would take that if someone was like more tactful with your slurs. I'm like, all right, I'll accept. It's run a little bit different in Scotland, but still very shitty. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's like, yeah, here it varies greatly. You know, when we had that panel, we were talking about this with some of our fellow trans streamer friends, and it's like, one of them was a trans woman from Florida who was like, yeah, I've had doctors just straight up like, you know, I've had pharmacists just like dead ass not fill my prescriptions and stuff. And I'm just like, wow, don't go to CVS is one of the things that I've learned from many years of having a lot of trans people around me. Like, don't get your anything through CVS pharmacy. Okay. Hello from Australia, says Kate. Thank you, Kate. Thinking of you all. I don't 100% identify with my new name, but now I'm afraid to change my name a third time. Jimsy, I've had this same I've had this same anxiety because, you know, I have a new name that it has occurred to me rings more true than my previous names. And I'm like, God damn it. I feel so embarrassed that that this is happening to me. You know, like I chose my name when I got married like 10 years ago. And I wish that I didn't have to be like, oh yeah, let me do a new name now. But everybody's been really nice and supportive about it. So I'm trying not to be weird. More trouble at Walgreens than CVS. It might just depend on where you're at. Like it might depend on the pharmacy, like individually, you know, just based on who works there. Vash's tactical is the tactical of a nuke. True. I can't say that I can think of any situation where I would use a tactical N-word. I will say. I have the other ones. Those are okay. I don't think that I would use the tactical N-word. Just personally. Oh, gosh. Jimmy Nails is a stage name. Very cool. Does CVS have really crazy receipts? Spacer's Choice, I believe that you're thinking of Costco. Costco is the one that's supposed to have like the crazy long receipts. Hello to the new people in the YouTube chat over there. Listen, if you're on the YouTube chat, first of all, hit like on the stream really quick. It's there is no like button on the website, but if you're on the YouTube page, just click like really fast. It's so quick for you. It's free. It helps the channel immediately. And then while you're clicking on stuff, if you're on desktop, click the top link in the description and hop over to the website. It's much cooler over here. I don't think I even have a Walgreens here. I think there's like a mixture of different pharmacies here. I've gone to different ones because sometimes it just depends on like who has the best deal on the GoodRx coupon. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes that's the most important thing here. I feel like these numbers are very weak. Normally I'm not very demanding about this, but come on now. There's like almost 50 concurrent viewers and only like 30 likes. How you do this to me? I named my smart lights after slurs that I'm allowed to say so that people who come over aren't allowed to control my lights via voice control. That's very funny, Heoteo. That is very, very funny. CVS also has really long receipts. Okay, I did not know that because I don't go to CVS. I just don't have any reason to go there. Tactical N-word be like tactical mustard gas. True, Jim C. Yeah, just... I don't really need to go there. It's fine. I did my part. True. Or does she salute during that? Or does she just have, like, she's wearing her armor and she has a gun? It's a great film. Young Neil Patrick Harris, you know? Always good. Hello, Raccoon Pope. Hello. We're still chilling. I think when we get ready to do our actual segment, we're going to go ahead and put a little content warning on the screen because we are going to be going about the shooting and stuff. But then Alexa actually said faggot once. She usually bleeps it out, but one time she fucking said it. Alexa is gay confirmed. True. Don't worry, I used this slur for a good cause. CVS has never given me an issue, Kylie says. That's good. Are we looking at footage? No. Well, we're going to look at some talk show footage, but that's it. We're not going to look at anything from the club or anything. Hello, Emily Lawrence. How's it going? CVS was good to me. Walgreens, not so much. Okay, so I guess chain pharmacies are just potentially problematic. Oh wow, Mersh, having to educate your pharmacist sounds like a fucking nightmare. Yeah, Emily, it's going. That's basically how it's going over here. We have I have a, GoFundMe going because I'm moving to my own place this winter for the first time, so that's going to be a whole fucking thing. And yeah, I mean, then there's this like shooting situation and I'm just trying to like figure out how to stay alive right now mentally, just how to like keep going, be productive. Oh my God, I'm going to get back on Adderall soon. Oh my God, I have an appointment to get back on Adderall soon and I'm so excited. Oh, welcome to the website, Venetian Believe. I see you've hopped over. Mutiny. Hello, Christy. Hey, Gorge. Hi, how are you? I'm in Colorado Springs and may drop out to go to the memorial. I'll have to see if my wife is up for it, though. Yeah, that's definitely a priority, for sure. Yeah, yes, thank you. I know. I'm so glad. Have you found a bed yet? Paul Hack, I'm trying to figure out exactly what to do about the strictly the bed situation. I have an air mattress right now. And I'm gonna just like, I don't know. Either I'm gonna buy a new bed or maybe someone I know is gonna buy a new bed and then give me the old one. I'm not sure. So many people hopping over to the website chat. Thank you so much, guys and y'all. I tried to say them at the same time. Gall. Marianaza 11 and Caters. Hello. Thanks for making this space to talk about this. I've been avoiding the news till I was emotionally ready for it. Yeah, so we're gonna try our best to. Thank you, Gall. True. We're gonna try our best to like. We're gonna try to talk about the news and have our feelings about it, but we're gonna do our best to like bring a little bit of levity to it. And I hope that you enjoy that part of the stream because I don't know how it's gonna go. We're gonna try something very new to the channel, something we've never done before. Guess who can finally afford femme clothing? Christy. Oh my God. Yes, I am so excited for you. I've recently been going to thrift stores very often because, people drop stuff off all the time, especially this time of year when people are like purging their garages and stuff. But like, so I go to the various thrift stores like twice a week and they have so many clothes there. I'll just grab like, I need another couple pairs of sweatpants. Like I'll just grab a couple pairs of sweatpants while I'm there. But they also have like a whole bunch of like dresses and other cute shirts and stuff. So highly recommend the thrift store shopping if you can. I work in a cheese department and we often abbreviate things. The abbreviation we use for gorgonzola is gorge, which makes me chuckle every time. True. What is an unsecured account? I am not totally sure. I think it means you haven't like added some kind of 2FA to it. I'm not sure. I would just say go to your account page and try to fill out all the information in there that you can. Like, attach a couple of accounts so that you don't like forget which one you logged into the website with. I hate gorgonzola. I have never had gorgonzola. I don't think. You don't think it's good. What are other opinions about gorgonzola? This is one of those things that I feel I'm like, oh, I'm an adult now. Does that mean that I should have an opinion on independent kinds of cheese? Because most of the time I'm just like, yeah, I'll just get some cheddar. It's fine. But I think I might be hitting an age where cheeses I'm gonna have to start learning independent names of them and like trying different ones. Because I also am actually not super hot on cheddar cheese anymore. Interestingly. So anyway. Kelsey says, thank you for covering the Q shooting. I'm kind of shocked that there haven't been more LGBTQ or left-wing YouTubers having covered it. Also, I appreciate you reading my comment on your last vid. Yeah, no worries. I have an interactive thing here. Gorgonzola is real salty. It's just pretty strong in general. I want salty cheese. Goat cheese goated? Okay. Brie is melty and delicious. Okay. Gorgonzola is meh. I don't love blue cheese. Oh, is Gorgonzola a blue cheese? Okay, I don't know whether or not I like blue cheese. Honestly, every time I expect cheese to taste better than it actually is. Listen, everybody is so passionate. Listen, look at all these different comments we're getting about cheese. Y'all are like hype for cheese right now. Italian blue and a very strong and acquired taste. Okay, I might have to try it. Jack cheeses are where it's at for. Yeah, like I've been buying like a bag of cheese and I think it's just like Colby Jack or Monterey Jack or something. It's just, I'd buy like shredded cheese and just use that for every purpose that I could possibly need to cook with cheese. Gruyere, my beloved. Cheese discourse begins. I know, I've started an avalanche with this. Gruyere is the bomb. I'm always hyped for cheese. Maybe it'll be more healthy to grieve together over this shit than alone. Yeah, I'm hoping that. If you give me an idea of what kind of flavors you like, I can help. Okay. We can get into more detail about it on a different time, perhaps. I should probably just try some different cheeses, and maybe we could make a video out of it. Couldn't that be fun? And then technically it would be a tax write-off for me, even though I don't think I make enough money for that to count, like for my purchases to really count toward tax benefits. I don't know. Cheese for a later date. Yes. Cheese mukbang. True. I'm already fed up with getting misgendered. I don't know how I'd cope with being misgendered by someone who's angry or uncomfortable with me being in the women's section. That's why I'm only shopping online. I mean, the thing is, like, I just think, you know, if I was shopping in a section of the store that it seemed like my gender didn't match, you know, if somebody got all huffy with me, I would be like, I'm buying for my girlfriend. What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, do you need someone to help you right now? Like, do you need assistance right now? I just feel like that's the smart way to do it. Like, especially if you are like sure that you look like you're boy moding, you know. Oh gosh. Where am I? Honestly, I feel more fear than sadness. I don't know. Okay. I guess let's just go ahead and shift into, we're going to talk about this now, because I'm expecting this segment to be like probably about an hour long, and I don't want this stream to go past 8 o'clock. So I want to get kind of started on this. I'm going to get the content warning set up. We're going to get, trust me, I don't look like someone who has a romantic partner. You don't have to look like someone who has a romantic partner. You can just claim to have one. Yeah, is there a look? Do you remember all those 90s sitcoms where there was like a really like average kind of fat middle-aged guy, and like he always was married to like a super hot wife? Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'm doing the content warning. Oh yeah, if you have not yet filled out the US Trans Survey, they extended the deadline out to December 5th. So if you have like about an hour to fill out an anonymous survey answering questions about what it's like to be an American trans person, or a trans person living in America, or whatever, you should do that, because it's useful information for our community to understand our demographics. She goes to a different school. True. I got very awkwardly approached by an old woman the other day who was like, do you know you're going into the women's room? I just always feel like if somebody asks me that question, I'm just going to be like, I'm 28 years old. Thank you. I don't need help. You know, just like, bye. I'm an adult. Thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. But I have the confidence of, you know, someone with a 10-inch cock. So, you know, that's just me. What am I doing? Content warning. Club Q shooting. There we go. We have the content warning. It's not going to be a great time. I think I need to put my hair up for this. Personality is super important in partners. That's true. Listen, eating spoiled milk is white culture. We got to keep the processing lactose gene, presumably from the Neanderthals, and just went off. Yeah, I guess I should really get my cheese leaven done now, because I have no idea if I'm going to remain lactose tolerant, you know, because like, it's like you're lactose tolerant when you're a baby because there's lactose in breast milk, but you lose your lactose tolerance as you get older because you're supposed to not have breast milk anymore. So technically, most people have an age at which they will become lactose intolerant. It's just that it keeps lasting longer and longer before it stops functioning. Content warning, dicks. True. Not this time. Unfortunate. No dicks this time. Okay. So we have the content warning up. We're about to get started on the actual real business here. So if you haven't yet hit like on the stream, if you hit like on the stream on the YouTube page, it is going to immediately tell YouTube to show the stream to more people. We'll usually see a couple more people come in right after you do that. So if you haven't, please take a moment. Sometimes I literally feel like I'm transitioning into a femcel. I mean, live your truth, be coy. I'm making jokes. Okay, I shouldn't be making jokes. Lost my lactose tolerance like 15 years ago. I still fuck with cheese. I don't know that I would ever stop fucking with cheese. I would just start taking pills. I'm envy, and the gender neutral toilets are also always the accessibility toilets, and I once got told off by a staff person for using them. Well, they also don't know if you're disabled. Like, you could be disabled in a way where, like, you can walk around, but you need, like, support to sit down, like, in the transition between sitting down and standing up, which means that you would need the bathroom that has the rail on it. Whatever, you know, that's stupid. Anyway, so here we go. We're about to start talking about the segment, the part that sucks. So we already talked on Sunday on the stream this week about the shooting in Colorado Springs at Club Q. We kind of were just reacting to the initial news coming out at that time because it was just like, wow, this is happening now. And we hadn't really yet seen a lot of the response that we were going to end up seeing to it. Like, there have been more and more articles written about it now, so word is spreading. Like, we were covering it relatively early in the news cycle of it having gone mainstream, this particular story. So more and more details are coming out. We are learning about the victims. We are learning about the shooter. We are learning about what actually happened in the moment. And we are also getting to see some of the responses rolling out from some mainstream conservative outlets. I would say that the mainstream conservative outlets are the ones to look to. Like, obviously, fringe neocons have been saying weird shit for a while, right? You know, the Tea Party Republicans, or whatever they called themselves, have been around in some form or fashion as a faction of the Republican Party for a number of years now. They say all kinds of weird shit. So the disconcerting thing is that we're seeing some of that fringe rhetoric start to show up from some more mainstream sources, which is unfortunate. We are trying to mourn, like we're trying to carry on as a community together. I personally find this stuff really difficult. I personally find it really, really hard to cope with loss, especially loss of relatively young people. I find myself really emotionally affected by thinking about the fact that, like, people were just there to dance. Like, someone was having a birthday party that night, and it's just really fucked up. So these are the things that are going on that have made it difficult in my mind to just deal with this in general over the past couple of days. So I have arranged time to receive comfort and support from someone close to me. I would suggest you do the same. Make time to be with your friends, make time to be with your family. If you're someone who, like me, it's like if I was, like, I feel like the only comparison I can think of is as though I were Jewish and someone burned down a synagogue, like, in my community. Like, it's, you know, that you are implicated, you know, in this whole thing, especially because we know for sure that, like, I mean, it's pretty easy to draw a line between the violent rhetoric that has been amping up over the last, I mean, really the last 6 months, I guess, but the last year or so, and this increasing violence, because the specific things that are getting called out are the specific things that are getting targeted. You know, we have Drag Queen Story Hour being treated like it's the end of all things. It's like the end of society as we know it. And like, I find it really frustrating. Anyhow, women were invented by the Frankfurt School in the 60s. True. I had to reset my brain really quick for a second there. So people have been calling us groomers. People have been calling us pedophiles. And then it's donut shops and drag bars that are getting attacked violently. People have at various points over the last couple of months tried to force their way into bars. People have showed up, wearing tactical gear to intimidate at drag queen story hours at libraries. And now, like, a shooting at a club that was going to have a drag story hour the next day. I think at like 10 p.m. or so the night before, they made an announcement on one of their social media pages that they were going to be hosting a drag brunch the next day, which, as I understand it, was not even necessarily going to be there was not necessarily even going to be a drag performance, but rather that it was just like brunch was being hosted at the venue and people, like customers, are also invited to wear drag. It's so like, I've heard it was a more general event, and and so we're still taking rounds protecting the bakery in suburban Chicago. They've harassed us every day since June. Like, it's like, that's not on the news anymore, but that's ongoing. Like, fucking breaking news here on the Luxander stream. Like, the bakery that got attacked in suburban Chicago back during Pride Month for having a drag brunch is still being like attacked, and they're still requiring a protection there. So it's pretty irritating. And scary, frankly. Frankly, it's scary. And I know as a group, we all kind of tend to feel pretty isolated. I know that I feel like, all of the queer people I know have been freaking out constantly to some degree for like years. And it's really hard to get straight people, cis people, to like understand why things are as scary as they are, and to understand how serious the situation is. And like, it's the whole frog in a pot of water thing. There is going to reach a point where the water is too hot to be here safely, and it's going to start like causing damage, and we're going to start boiling to death and just not know when that's going to get there. My mom keeps going, wow, I'm surprised. And I'm like, how? Yeah, I am not surprised at this point. And I guess to me, I find it really sad, but I don't find myself like devastated by this situation or by this news, because I knew that this was going to happen. So I'm prepared emotionally. Like, it has happened before with Pulse shooting. I've experienced this before. Thankfully, I didn't know anyone who was involved, at least not that I know. I think about that though. Like, I know all of you through a series of usernames. Sometimes I know you on multiple platforms where you might have different usernames, but for a lot of you, I don't know your real name. Or maybe you're trans and you haven't changed your name legally yet. So I don't know, like, I might know someone who's died in one of these situations, but just not know it because it's just like someone's name stops showing up in chat or on the comments in my videos or on Twitter or whatever. Like, I find that kind of stressful. So I have been just consuming way too much news about this and upsetting myself. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the conservative backlash, because the way that they're reacting to this shooting is quite different than normal. And we're going to kind of see like the extent of the depravity to which they have fallen. And we're also going to be looking at some of the victims and learning about their lives and exposing ourselves to some of the grief of their loved ones as we read about them. And it's going to be a hard stream. It's going to be a hard video. If this ends up going up on the channel later, it's going to be a weird one. So in pursuit of, at the very minimum, making it a little interesting, since this is going to be such a rough time, we're going to do something a little weird. Did you know that I was a theater kid? So, Yes, NBJ. We are also going to talk about the heroes who fought off the shooter. So let me get this all situated here. I'm expecting to cry during the segment. So you know what we're going to do is we're just going to preface that by cutting some onions while we're talking about this. And is this one? We have an onion cam. Hollow loves that. Thank you, Hollow. Yeah, I know some of your real names. Yeah, for sure. I know some of your real names. I'm just saying for the most part. The whole detransitioner thing proves they do not care about the suffering of trans people. Excuse me, even moderates view the well-being of trans people as lesser than the well-being of the same number of cis people. Yeah, for sure. Oh my god. Onion cam, TM. Yeah. So this is what we're doing. Here's the thing. I'll buy like 3 onions, and then I cut all of them up and put them in the freezer. Like, you can just take all of them and put them in the freezer, and then you just have cut up frozen onion whenever you're ready to cook it. So because of that, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I already peeled and rinsed these onions earlier today, so we're just gonna cut some onions while we talk about this issue. And the onion cam is pre-recorded. Don't believe the lies. No, I shouldn't do that. A good way to let yourself cry too if you're having trouble. Hollow's body doesn't really react to onions much, but still. Yeah. It is my intention to cry during this video and to use the onions as a comedic effect of an excuse for why I'm crying. So oh my god, my voice is just so weird. Please do not touch your eyes with your fingers while crying. Oh yeah, thank you for reminding me to get my Kleenexes off the floor. Yeah, I need to pull up some stuff so that I can read about the news. I cried during a Pokemon game story moment. No spoilers though, but it is still sad. I was gifted Pokemon Scarlet, and so I'm gonna try to see how that goes for a little bit. Okay. Let's go over to the profile page here. There have been a lot of things going on. I can't promise that this is going to be in order, by the way. Like, I want to talk about both the conservative aspect of this and also the victims and stuff, but it's going to be in... I'm just going to go in whatever order I've retweeted shit in. So, I guess a little bit of a recap. We were talking about libs of TikTok last time and how it seems like Chaya posted this thing about Colorado teaches kids how to safely become drag queens and helps kids, quote, safely experience the art of drag on stage. You know, within like 12 hours of the news coming out about this shooting, which obviously happened about a drag queen or a drag brunch. Excuse me. God. Get a load of the crying, please. Don't wipe your eyes with a knife. Yeah, that's probably a good call. I agree that I will not do that. So, moving on. Let's see. Confirmed by ABC now, Daniel Aston, transgender man, was one of the victims. He once tweeted about how patrons at Club Q would tell him, "You make me feel safe." I think this is his account. Yeah. So there's just this poor guy. Okay, here's the thing. We have to start cutting onions now. So we're going to do this. By the way, if you ever want to cut onions without it hurting you, if you're one of the people that it does hurt, you should get a hand cloth or a paper towel and get it wet and then put it on your cutting board, because that will make the molecules that make your eyes hurt go into the water on the paper towel or whatever instead of into your eyeballs. I'm not doing that today because the explicit purpose is to cut onions and to have it hurt, you know? These are kind of in the way, aren't they? Let's move them. It's fine. Diving goggles, true. Yes, true. So, yeah, he says, every single goddamn time I even have the slightest thought of leaving Club Q, someone comes up and tells me, you are the reason I love this bar, or you and Derek make me feel so safe and welcome here. Oh, gosh. The onions. The onions. What we know about the victims of the shooting. All 5 victims killed in a mass shooting at an LGBTQ club have been identified. At least 19 were also injured. I'm going to make a few more cuts here. Correct cutting protocol. This knife could be sharper. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, it's getting in there. Oh, the eyeballs. Oh, yeah. At least 19 were also injured after a gunman began shooting inside Club Q in Colorado Springs. As soon as he walked in, police identified the suspect as Anderson Lee Aldrich, 22 years old. At least 2 people whom authorities described as heroes confronted Aldrich and fought with him, which saved more lives. 2 guns, including a long one, were recovered from the scene. The shooting is now being investigated as a hate crime. Here's what we know about the victims so far. We'll get back into discussing the details of what happened. Does chewing reduce crying? I don't know. I don't know. Daniel Davis Aston, a bartender at Club Q and victim in the shooting, is pictured in an undated family photo. Brennan Beckwith posted on Twitter that Daniel was still like less than 6 months out from from top surgery. So like, you know, he did not live to see his chest fully healed. How old was he? He was the same age as me too, which is fucked up. Kelly Loving, 40. We're gonna go ahead and cut some more onions. Feel free to join me. I mean, maybe you won't need to cut onions in order to achieve the same effect because of the material. You know. Kelly Loving, age 40, has been identified as one of the victims. Her sister Tiffany Loving told ABC News. I've just always been like her mother, wanting to guide her, Tiffany said. I had just got off the phone with her that same day. We had video calls that same day. She was a kind person. She was loving, always fighting for people. A friend told ABC that Kelly just turned 40, had just recently moved to Colorado, and was excited to experience the queer community in the area. She, quote, taught me a lot about my whole transition and is someone I look up to in the community. It's really hitting home. It's hurting more and more. Like, I think she's trans. I am not sure, but... Derek, age 38, was the 3rd victim identified. He was a kind, loving person who had a heart of gold. He was always there for my daughter and myself when we needed him. Also, his friends from Colorado, which he would say was his family also. He was living his dream and would have wanted everyone to do the same. I know that Daniel I believe was a bartender at the bar, but I think Derek may have been too. I'm not totally sure. Ashley Pove, 35, identifies as one of the victims. She put her all into being a mother, wife, and a truly loving, charismatic family member all around the board. She loved the outdoors, growing up hunting and fishing. She had just harvested a nice white-tailed deer a week and a half before this horrific event. And finally, Raymond Green Vance, who I guess we don't know anything about. Or no, that's the 4th person. Not there just wasn't another picture. Tara Bush, aka DJ T Beats, is one of the dozens of injured victims. Oh, okay, she's in the hospital. So this is like, yeah, the 5 people. Yeah, I can count for sure. 5 people who died, 25 people injured, and yeah, so that's that on that for now. Let's see. At this point, Shia Ride Chick, the person who runs Libs of TikTok, is openly gloating about the instigating of LGBTQ violence in the wake of the Colorado mass shooting. She added stochastic terrorist to her bio. This is the account that's the one that keeps calling on, that keeps like causing people to bomb threat fucking children's hospitals. Pretty cringe. Jamie Michelle blaming the victims in Colorado and doubling down on the rhetoric that's inciting people to violence against the LGBTQ community. Okay, hold on. We're going to cut more onions. Okay. This is where it's going to really open up. Hopefully, I guess. Arg. Cool. That's one onion. Or a half an onion. Probably should pick up the pace a little bit on this, I guess. Anyway, the Gays Against Groomers account quote tweeted David Leatherwood, who David Leatherwood says the radical leftist alphabet cult has painted a target on the backs of all LGBT Americans by pushing radical gender ideology and the sexualization of children, which has ruined the reputation of our community and embarrassed us all. Cringe. Gays Against Groomers quoted that saying, undeniably true, if you want to see gay rights and LGBT people continue to be attacked, just keep sexualizing, indoctrinating, and mutilating kids. Our organization is here to not only protect children, but ourselves as well. Leave the kids alone and we'll all be left alone. This is so shit. It's like basically saying like, oh yeah, LGBT people in general are going to continue being attacked if we like change how we've done medicine if we don't change how we've done medicine for the past like 40 years. Like, it's so weird. Yeah, she wants to oppress her own community for clout and to sell merch. She's the lowest of the low. It's like, what do you do? Well, like, what do you say about this? Because this is not uncommon as far as the rhetoric is concerned, as we will find out. Matt Walsh, of course, came in saying, leftists are using a mass shooting to try and blackmail us into accepting the castration and sexualization of children. These people are just beyond evil. I have never felt more motivated to oppose everything they stand for with every fiber of my being. Like this, if I'm being totally honest, I'm going to cut onions while I'm saying this part because I'm going to take a break from reading. It seems pretty obvious that Matt Walsh had planned out what he was going to start saying rhetorically when the shooting inevitably happened. Like, they knew that the shooting was going to happen. It was like part of the plan. And it's just like, this reads to me like he knew exactly what he was going to say. It's not like he's having a genuine reaction right now. He like curated, he'd like already decided. He had that saved as a draft tweet. Yeah, and it's Darvo. Oh my God, the onions. Hold on. Make a last cut here. Okay. They were just, yeah, it's obvious that this guy shot up the place because it was going to have a drag thing the next day. Like, it's pretty clear. Like, or, you know, it could be that they've done a good enough job of just saying, okay, groomer to queer people in general enough times that the average person might just start to think that gay people are also harmful to have around kids, which, like, plenty of them already do, to be completely honest. They're not even decent enough to do the, oh, stop politicizing it bullshit. Just actively saying they deserved it. Yeah, they're just actively saying they deserved it. Thank you, Jim C, for your tier 2 sub. I was putting a lot of faith in Colorado being safe, but now I'm left without a fallback. Yeah, that's really scary, you know? Like, it would be like me finding out that like some shooting or something happened in like Washington. Like the idea that it's supposed to be a safe place, or like it's supposed to be safer, you know, would be compromised by that. And I would obviously not enjoy very much to find that out, because I know people who live there. I don't know people who live in Colorado Springs for the most part. I do know people who live in Florida, you know, so that's scary when that happens. Anyway, people die, and the first thing they think is, yes, we can use this as ammo against conservatives who don't think children should be exposed to drag shows. Soulless demons, evil to the core, truly. Yeah, what's evil here is like Matt pretending like he hasn't been actively drumming up violent rhetoric toward trans people in general for like months now. You know, it's all part of a multifaceted thing. Like, trans people don't want to recruit your fucking kids. Here's the thing. Matt Walsh also had a segment that crossed my Twitter timeline. So we could actually cover Matt Walsh during this segment. But he said during the video, I know what I just said is going to get clipped out. So like, hi, Twitter. And I'm like, oh, that's why you keep saying this inflammatory shit. Because like your entire brand is saying inflammatory shit on Twitter in order to, you know, gain, like, he makes money off of this outrage marketing, basically. Like, he's taking advantage of rubes who believe him, and also he's kind of taking advantage of us in getting us to continue, like, repeating what he has said and showing his videos around on the internet and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's just pretty duplicitous Darvo shit. Let me change this thingy, my thingy. Cool. Get back to here. These onions are killer, y'all. The onions, for sure. All right. Yeah, if you want to be safe, then just don't be lied about. It's so easy. It's so easy. Every conservative accusation is a confession. Every accusation an admission. Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty ridiculous. And Alejandra says it's that Matt Walsh isn't upset that someone shot up a gay bar. He's upset that more people weren't killed. He has a bloodlust for the murder of LGBTQ people. Here he is doubling down on it and wants more of it. Here's God, what, Merrick. I forgot her name for a second. I was like, Merida? No, that's not right. They scream and throw a fit if you point it out, but it doesn't change the fact that libs of TikTok and Matt Walsh's targets end up with violence directed at them. It's not a coincidence. Here, that same Matt Walsh tweet, and then Candace Owens also says, I just want to make sure I'm correct in understanding that the left is using the tragedy in Colorado to make the argument that unless conservatives get on board with experimenting on children's genitals with puberty blockers, then nightclub shootings will continue to happen. Like, it's just so abjectly cruel. Like, that's the thing that sucks so much about it, is it's so obviously just so cruel to be like, we're going to stoke violent rhetoric toward your community, and then when something violent actually happens, like, we're just going to pretend as though, like, oh, well, if you would just stop existing in pretty basic ways, then boy howdy, we would, you know, we would be able to condemn this shooter, but for now we can't condemn this shooter. Yeah, I'm not the aggressor. Clearly you won't stop until we're happy. Yeah, like, it's so fucking ridiculous. Like, it's so, I don't even know what to do. Yeah, and of course this again with the libs of TikTok. Does Merrick have a thread here? Yeah, Matt Walsh is guilty. Libs of TikTok is guilty. People are dying because of them, and they are too weak or committed to self-enrichment or both to admit it and reflect. Bonus for this scum, jumping on taking grift shots at trans people right now. Tulsi Gabbard. Yeah, I'm just gonna drop that for now. Here are the latest developments on the Colorado shooting. The Colorado Springs shooter was charged with hate crimes, confirming that the shooting was motivated by hate towards queer people. Local officials declined to give a reason despite knowing enough to charge him, and now they've sealed the record. Investigators filed murder and hate crimes charges on Monday against the suspect accused of shooting up an LGBTQ nightclub in Colorado Springs on Saturday night, killing 5 people. 25 also injured in the mayhem before the gunman was subdued by patrons. Colorado court records show that he was charged with 5 counts of murder and 5 counts of bias-motivated crime causing bodily injury. However, the Colorado judge granted the prosecutor's request to seal court records related to the arrest until the conclusion of the investigation. I wish you would unseal the records, my dudes. I want to know. I want to know about him. Yeah, how common is it for records to be sealed in a case like this? It's probably to protect witnesses, so they too are not targets of more crime. Okay, that's fair enough. All right, fair enough. Oh my god, I need a drink of water. You all should take a drink of water too. Soyboy says, I literally was at a queer club in Denver the same night. That's like barely 2 hours away. I don't even know how to feel. All of this hit too close to home. It's really, really tough. My heart goes out to you all who are more closely affected by this, you know. I live a whole state away from where this happened. Like, there aren't very many. There have been a couple mass shootings in Colorado over the past few years, but as far as I know, there are very few where I live. Spoopy, thank you so much for joining the stream chat. I appreciate you. We love it over here. It's so nice. It's so nice. Okay, we're going to return to how upset we are now. Okay, so this is something... This is, okay, like, trigger warning for slurs now, obviously. Like, we're talking about the shooting, but, like, specifically trigger warning for the slurs and shit that people have been saying in the aftermath of all this nonsense. This person just straight up said, stop being ugly faggot freaks and maybe we'll stop killing you. These are like in the replies to, I think this is on the replies to the New York Times article about this. Someone says, finally, someone doing the Lord's work. Praise hands. Based. Q predicted this. Don't teach your shit to children and this won't happen. Like retro causally justifying the violence toward us. And like, also no proof that there were going to be kids there. Just because it's an all ages show, it mean, you know, all ages show for a particular bar could mean like people who normally can't get into the bar even though they're 18 because they can't drink yet can come to this, you know, like, anyway, it is, yeah, it's so easy to tell yourself that it can't happen here, but yeah, I would rather be safe. I guess we'll kind of take an aside here since we're kind of in the middle of this thing. Like, by the way, I know a lot of people who are feeling like they really need to get equipped, you know, and I will say I don't blame you for feeling that way. And I personally have also been thinking about potentially arming myself, and I just don't know if I am well enough in my particular mental health journey to be willing to like have a gun around. And like also I would need to look into like statistically what difference would it actually make if I had a gun. These people who saved the rest of the bar attendees were unarmed. Like they went and tackled the guy, or one person went and tackled the guy, I guess, and you know, used his own weapon to subdue him. So it's like, well, you know, no one in the bar was armed, but the guy got taken down, you know, like, because these weapons are so easily destructive, they just like kill a bunch of people in before you can even react. There's a bunch of people on the floor, you know? He's a politician's son. The shooter's grandfather was a GOP assemblyman in California. The shooter had made bomb threats earlier this year. Yeah, I had been looking into that. The shooter was wearing body armor because his mom bought it for him, even though he had been previously under investigation. Like, oh yeah, the FBI says he's on my radar, whatever, you know, like. So I would say you have to weigh the decision for yourself, whether you're going to get a gun, whether that's going to be something that's actually useful in your life. I think I'm okay with just having like pepper spray, and maybe I'll also get a taser, like whatever kind of taser I can get within like the local laws that would suffice for me, because I don't think I want to have a gun. I don't want that in my life. I don't really need that in my space. And I want to feel safe though. And I feel like pepper spray is a pretty good way to feel safe. And like having the taser would just be extra safety on top of that, you know? It's like if I pepper spray the guy and he's still coming toward me, I can tase him once he's within range or whatever. At least that's the dream, right? How these onions. Okay. Y'all should have turned off these comments. These dude weirds as fuck. True. W. Tough. Good. W. Shooter. W. Shooter. My fault. W. Alphabet Clan Pax. And then a cigarette sign. Which, like, the cigarette sign, I believe is a way of saying the slur fag. Without actually saying it, because I do know a British trans guy who uses that emoji for that reason, which is pretty funny to me actually. But yeah, I don't know. In this case, it doesn't really seem like it's being used very nicely, does it? Can we say it's genocide yet? Yeah, I don't know. These are photos. Yeah, this is why I thought that Derek was maybe a bartender also, because he's behind the bar with Daniel. Or if that's actually, that might be Raymond, and Derek might be... I thought that this was Raymond Green. Okay. How cops respond to an active shooter versus how a drag queen responds to an active shooter. By the way, also, she was not a drag queen. She is a trans woman. I want to correct that record. Every single time we talk about this or look at this particular fact, I'm going to bring it up again. She was not a drag queen. She's a trans woman. Police didn't try to open doors to Uvalde classrooms with shooter inside. Versus as a fight. So what happened in this situation is that this guy who is an army vet who was there for a birthday party with like his daughter and her boyfriend, who was one of the victims who passed away, he went and like tackled the guy and then kicked the AR-15 away and then grabbed the dude's pistol and started like hitting him in the face and the head with the thing, you know. Yeah, we're gonna watch the video of the guy talking about it for sure. But yeah, and then this trans woman like stomped on the gunman, like on his face, I think, like stomped and kicked around his head. So that's pretty cool. Trans women are the best. I wish that this was being reported better and that she was not being misgendered. Trigger warning shooting. Oh yeah, I don't want to read that. Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, so let's clarify. The one who saved my life and stomped the shooter's face in was not a drag queen. She is a trans woman. Let's not call trans women drag queens during this time of grieving over a transphobic attack. I also want to make it clear, I don't think Richard knew that she's not a drag performer, but now that we know, let's correct it. So the guy who had tackled the shooter was misgendering that trans woman, but just didn't know. I heard she took off her heel and whacked him with it, but IDK? Yeah, I don't know. Oh my God. The way that, we'll watch the video, but the way that the guy was explaining it, it sounded more like she was kicking him in the head. That dude had great restraint going for the pistol whip instead of 9mm retribution. Well, I will say, Jimsy, that the guy was a military vet and that military people, unlike police, actually do have to follow rules of engagement, which means that you can't just kill people like for no reason. Like you have to be like, if you have someone subdued, I don't think you're supposed to. Not you, Jimsy, not you, with the misgendering. No. We'll get to it in a second. Okay, so I'm going to make a couple more cuts in this onion as I read this post about Daniel, like from a friend of his, I guess. Because I think it's important to kind of acknowledge the range of grief and like the various ways that it affects us, especially for people who, like, I haven't experienced much real death in my life. Like, I haven't had very many people in my life pass away, and it just seems like something to maybe be prepared for. I mean, if for no other reason than, like, we all have parents who are older than us and are statistically more likely to die. Derek is the other bartender with Daniel. Okay, thank you for clarifying, Kelsey. What are we making with these onions? We're making whatever. I'm just going to put them in the freezer, and that's going to be like anytime I need onions for the next couple months or whatever, however that long they last. So this friend says, Daniel, wake your ass up. It's morning. I slept on the floor. It felt unfair to sleep in a bed if you can't. The president is tweeting about you. A few, really, and George Takei. Can you believe that shit? I have these nightmares that are so vivid that when I wake up from them, the relief knocks the breath out of me. I was hoping that would be the case. It doesn't seem to be. The sky is blue, not a cloud in sight, and warm in the sun. It's comically insensitive. I wanted to text you so we could laugh about the weather being homophobic. You hadn't gotten enough wear out of that jacket. You haven't done your series on fucking while trans. You haven't learned how to mix music. You haven't met my dog. I wanted a visitation dream, but your schedule is probably pretty full. A lot of us are raising Kleenex's profits today, but even so, I wanted to see you before you left. I don't know what to daydream about. It's insulting that I still have to eat. That there are hundreds of other motherfuckers out on the road running errands and buying food for the holidays. And getting coffee and going to the park and going to work and laughing and smiling and talking and arguing. The goddamn sun is still fucking shining. And the wind is blowing and the stupid ass wind chimes are dancing and it's unbelievable. It's insulting. It's unfathomable that everything didn't just stop. That all the clocks didn't freeze. That that the sun had the nerve to show its face at all today. And that the world keeps spinning and birds are singing and that it's a beautiful goddamn day. And all I can think is to tell you about it because you aren't looking at it too. You're sleeping in too late, seriously. At a time like this, I have so much I need to tell you. I just want you to listen. Oh my God. This is rough. I I think I want to jump straight from that one to the next one so that I can do kind of the majority of the crying in like one go. Because there was also this one. Okay. I'm going to put these onions in this bag and then get ready to start cutting the next onion. Oh, we're working it out together, y'all. We're just going to work it out together. Who's cutting onions in here? Alright. Get out of here. Of course, the last photo you ever posted was a nude where you were wearing a Cum 41 hat. Where the hell did you even find something like that? You did a bunch of your funniest Twitter posts a couple days ago. The last conversation we had involved Crisco. Green onions don't have that same crying effect. They can sometimes, just not as strongly usually. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I didn't know that the onion chemical could travel through the internet. I know, you're learning all kinds of new things today. Oh god. 11 years after I decided to stay in the art class I got put in via the schedule mistake because another queer person, you, walked in, it's hard to accept that I'm typing this, sitting on the floor where I fell when I saw the news, like a fucking drama queen. I feel like any minute you'll reply to my text, like, yeah, it was crazy. Thankfully, I got out okay. And be totally weirded out over the rest in power tweets, and we'll both laugh at my expense for freaking out like that. I love you. Thank you for letting me know you for over a decade. Thanks for still loving me, despite however many mutual exes and intra-queer drama that would give the L-word writers a headache to imagine. I thought about Africa by Toto the other day, and how every time I hear it, I think of you, and I almost double over laughing. If this makes me cry about To Africa by Toto, I will hold it against you forever. But I'm going to bawl my ass off to the Lost Boys anytime I see it now. I love your collection of goofy-ass hats. I love your laugh and your sense of humor and how your eyes crinkle up when you smile. I love our insiders. I love you so much. I would have told you all this, but we never really get that kind of heads up. I really fucking love you. I'll tell you every day. I should have told you every day. Who's cutting onions in here? God damn it. So for me, I am aware of this kind of thing on a regular basis. Like, I am aware that, if my mother-in-law comes to visit, I always hope that she has a safe trip home, because if she could just get in a car accident on the way home. Like, she lives in Illinois and it's like an 8-hour drive. Like, literally anything could happen, even if, it could even be something totally outside her control. And that's just something that you have to be prepared for in your life. And I think that we should all take time to be more appreciative and to recognize, like, it's really unpleasant to think about death. And, like, the fact that we are all going to die, and our parents are all going to die, and if you have children, your children are going to die, all of your pets are going to die. Like, it is inevitable for everybody. And I think that our desire to not think about it kind of does us a disservice, because we end up not keeping it in mind in a way that allows you to, like, take action according to your values, like, if you're really aware of the fact that this could be the last time you see someone because they could get in a car accident, then, like, maybe you'll be less likely to leave off with a fight or with a snide comment, like, I think that we would all be more appreciative. Imagine tuning in right now, seeing Lux say everyone is going to die and then lifting up a giant knife. True. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like, realistically, life is short, y'all. And we should appreciate each other more, I feel like queer people know this more than most, because we, as a community, we have had to deal with things like the fucking AIDS epidemic and, like, just the fact that people are politically like not very motivated to protect us. And I think that we tend to like love really fiercely and to appreciate each other a lot because we are kind of aware of these things. I do think that we're not perfect and we do fail sometimes at trying to remember how much we mean to each other. But overall, I think the queer community does better than average at just this basic thing of knowing each other and seeing each other and being willing to dive in and love each other like without reservation in a way. Oh my gosh. So, oh shit, to that feel when my mom just texted me asking if I had heard of Gays Against Groomers and that I should check them out. Wow, that's fucking irritating. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get all that memorial shit done in like one go. Although there is... Let's actually look really quick at this other post about Derek Rump, who was the other... Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, you're not gonna let me watch... You're not gonna let me look at the article? Washington Post, you fucking assholes. I don't have time for this. I don't have time to try to make this work. Okay. But just as a overview from what this person said, like Derek Rump was also well loved as a fixture at the bar, saying he bought lashes for drag queens who couldn't afford them and groceries for people who lost their jobs during the pandemic. Every Thursday he sang Runaway Train off key with all the passion he could muster. On Derek Rump, the glue that bound Club Q. Let's roll back here and see if there's any more stuff about this that I'm missing right now. A trans woman and a man who left the military due to disgust with the violence prevented further deaths in a mass shooting before the man was... they prevented further deaths in the mass shooting, and then the man was held by police in a police car for over an hour, and then that story was turned into hero veteran uses military training to fight the bad guy, drag queen helps. Like, it's actually a trans woman, and she, was obviously part of it. Like, obviously the guy tackled the dude down, but she was brave and kicked the weapon away and then started kicking his face in. So, truly at a loss for words, this despicable piece of shit is now trying to justify the murders of LGBTQ people by saying the people there were at a grooming event. Tim Pool being super cringe. We shouldn't tolerate pedophiles grooming kids. Club Q had a grooming event. How do prevent the violence and stop the grooming? Just, again, like, this is going to be their whole thing. Their whole thing is just going to be acting like we are the reason why this is happening. Like, they didn't actually have a grooming event, even if you're talking about, like, it being specifically child-involved drag. Oh, yeah, so this video, let me get my headphones. Oh, the onions. Oh, the onions. Come on now. Okay. And of course, now these people have Twitter to run around spewing their shit on. Yeah, there's no more moderation. Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna try to boost this volume if I can. Gosh.
It may not even been a window left, but I saw a lot of people, and this guy was there, and I saw the ACU pattern flag vest. And for me, that was like, there's a handle, I'm getting it. So I ran across the room, grabbed the handle, pulled him down, and then started to, well, actually, I think I went for his gun with him. His rifle flew in front of him. And the young man that tried to jump in there with me.
He mistook this trans woman for a gay man. So he's saying, this young man, he's referring to a trans woman. So he's saying he tackled the guy, grabbing his vest and like yanking him to the ground, and he lost control of the gun. And then the trans woman came and kicked the gun away. So at this point, he's like on top of the guy. And I think what he's about to do is grab the pistol and start like hitting him in the face with it.
we both either pulled him down or whatever, but he ended up at his head, and right next to the
They may have both pulled him to the ground. It's this guy is unclear on whether, like, it might not, you know, he may have had literal just this trans woman like helping him 50-50 pull the guy to the ground.
And then with the AR, I told him, push the AR, get the AR away from him. The kid pushed the AR. I don't know what his name was. And then I proceeded to take his other weapon, the pistol, and then just start hitting him where I could, but the armor's in the way. And I found a crease between his armor and his head, and I just started wailing away with his gun. And then I told the kid in front of me, kick him, keep kicking him. And I was guiding him. I was telling people, call 911, call 911. I brought him down. I was in mode. I was doing what I do downrange. You know, I trained for this. I don't want to ever do this. I didn't even retire because I was done doing this stuff. It was too much, and I'm you know, it came in handy, and I got to protect my kid. I lost my kid's boyfriend. I tried to have everybody in there. I still feel bad that there's 5 people. There's 5 people that didn't come home. And this guy, I told him while I was hitting him, I said, I'm going to kill you, man, because you tried to kill my friends. My family was in there. My little girl was in there with her.
We are so sorry for the loss that you and your family have gone through.
That was a guy who was there to celebrate a birthday. They were celebrating a birthday with his daughter and her boyfriend, who was one of the people who died. So, oh, here's more of that thread from Tim Pool. I told you this was going to be really out of order. I'm sorry. It's not going to be any more in order. But he continues saying, so actually the original quote tweet, I think I ignored this. I don't think we have to tolerate pedophiles because some asshole shot up a gay bar. Frankly, a lot of people trying to convince us we need to tolerate pedophiles seem happy to use any excuse. Like, yeah, again, they're just going to pretend forever like them drumming up this rhetoric, calling drag queens pedophiles isn't the reason why this shooting happened in the first place. I really, really want them to tell us, like, I want this dude to have a manifesto. Like, for real, I really want this dude to have a manifesto. I swear to God, if he kills himself in prison, I'm going to fucking lose it. Everybody coming back to Twitter, mask off, dog whistling is out, and the rules of engagement are changing. Yeah, it really does feel very different. And then he continues, it seems that around 10 p.m. Club Q posted they were having an all-ages drag show the next day. About 2 hours later, the shooter came in. Excuse me. People keep calling for wood chippers, and this is what happens. If you're claiming that groomer refers to all LGBT people, then you're calling all LGBT people pedophiles and inciting violence against them. But it is, like Senator Scott Wiener points out appropriately, the word groomer is categorically an anti-LGBTQ hate word. Like, it's like Tim Pool is, like, too young and too retarded to know that, 20 years ago, every single gay person was considered unsafe to have around children. They were effectively going to groom your children into being gay. It's literally repackaged homophobia. It's homophobic and transphobic. It plays into the slander that LGBTQ people are pedophiles, no different than calling someone the F slur. Like, it's literally just the same rhetoric. It's not new. And it's clearly the equivocation between, like, any queer person and drag queens and pedophiles, like, acting as though they're all the same thing, is clearly what the right has been doing for a while now. Yeah, thanks, Elon. Elon made this possible. How great. Also, if you live in Ohio, days after LGBTQ people were shot up at a bar that was supposed to host a family-friendly drag event, far-right militant group The Proud Boys is planning on disrupting a drag event in Ohio. All year, this group has violently reacted to queer people. Let's try to stop them. This says the Proud Boys, a far-right extremist group, announced that they will be gathering at a drag queen storytime event for children in Columbus on December 3rd. Please share widely. So, yeah, it's worse than calling someone faggot. Yeah, I agree, actually. So the Kaleidoscope Youth Center was scheduled to be there, but they have pulled out because of the safety concerns. hopefully, like, I was actually gonna get in touch with, do you all know Trans Shirt Guy, who we talked about on stream pretty recently? He showed up at a couple of board meetings in Ohio. I was gonna actually ping him on this and see if he is close enough to Columbus to maybe show up at this event. Like big dick ally energy, you know? But we'll see. I wouldn't want to put any pressure on him unnecessarily or anything. Oh, by the way, this is what the wood chipper thing is about. Lots of trees, so we need lots of wood chippers. Like, this is them calling to violence against us, by the way. I hadn't heard about this wood chipper dog whistle until just now, but this is pretty, like, clearly what they're doing. And, like, there's a few more. Don't tread on kids with a wood chipper instead of the snake. It stopped the drag show from happening, though. Babe, please, you can't keep posting wood chipper memes just because pedos are grooming children. Haha, wood chipper memes go burr. I'm curious, does the shooter have a GoFundMe account? So, I guess we can watch, I mean, I don't know, this doesn't really matter very much. This is just a journalist being like, what can journalists do better? Like, which is nice to see, but still, it doesn't really make any difference. Okay, I think that's all I had retweeted about this on my timeline. Those are like the main things I wanted to get through. Just like, you know, saying the names of the people who we want to remember. Cutting onions. Talking about, you know, the bravery of the people who took this guy down. Like, Brendan Beckwith also pointed out, like, he was saying, like, I take my gun wound kit with me every time I go clubbing. So, like, please don't fucking talk to me about any of this shit right now. It's really difficult. Yeah, I'm still moving out into my own place. So, you know, if you want to help with that, that would be great. It's about to be the holidays, so I understand people are going to start focusing up on buying their own kids presents and stuff, but it's going to be Black Friday. I don't know if you want to buy me something off my Amazon wish list. That would be cool. Did you explain the wood chipper meme already? Oh, I mean, the wood chipper meme is just basically like, it's literally chopped down all the tall trees from Rwanda. Oh, wait, is that a specific reference? You can get quick clot and hemostatic bandages on Amazon. I just assumed that it was generally saying like put, I thought it was just a covert way of just saying put trans people in the wood chipper. Like, I just figured it was an indirect thing. Good night, Nigera. Covert, yeah. Yeah, it's not really covert, but it's just covert enough that you might be able to get away with it on TOS. So anyway, yeah, like I said, well, I guess, just to wrap up again, like, I encourage you all to look into self-defense stuff. If you can afford, like, a class that will, you know, like, obviously it's not necessarily going to help for, like, a shooter, but, like, a class that will help you get out of grapples and teach you generally, like, self-defense stuff like that. You should get yourself some pepper spray. Consider getting a taser if it's legal where you live. If you want to get a gun, I would say go for it, but I would also say practice with it at the gun range. Train with it. Yeah, don't just get a gun and, like, think, oh, you'll know how to use it when the moment comes. Like, you need to be able to, like, know how your gun works, be able to clean it, oil and maintain it, you know, keep the ammunition stored safely and all that stuff. Like, you need to educate yourself on that. So look into, like, look at the local gun ranges, see what's available. Maybe even like check out your local DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America chapter, and see if there are people politically aligned with you who go to the gun range on a regular basis, you know? And yeah, I would say if you have the money, you can invest in, like, body armor. Like, frankly, that shit is really, really expensive, but I've looked into it myself. With pepper spray, make sure to do a test spray first from a distance. Also, pepper spray will bounce off of people, so be careful if you ever use it. Yeah, so with pepper spray, this is personal protective equipment, okay? And if you've ever taken an OSHA class, you will know that with personal protective equipment, technically you're supposed to test that it works. Like some PPE you want to test every time you use it. Some PPE you just want to test regularly. So I would say if you have a pepper spray that's going to be on your keys, in your pocket, in your purse, in your backpack, something like that, getting jostled around a lot, I would say you need to test spray it like once a month to make sure that it's functional. Pepper spray being illegal for self-defense in Canada, be like, yeah, true. So the Socialist Rifle Association, we can check those out. The John Brown Gun Club, also good for lefties to join and learn how to safely operate firearms. Thank you for those tips, Dave. Those are going to be important also to potentially check out. So I would say look into it if you feel safe doing it. Continue looking into making plans to get out of the country or to get to a safer place within the country if you need to do that. I am personally thinking about that in an ongoing fashion of like, you know, it seems like things are going to get increasingly bad and dangerous. So stay as safe as you can. I would also recommend for sure, I'm going to look into it because I think that I'm going to take my younger siblings and have them learn this as well, to do a like triage, stop the bleed, first aid type course, where they will learn how to, you know, potentially how to do CPR. We talked about CPR this weekend while my sibling was over, but like getting actually certified in CPR and like the stop the bleed training and everything, because you just never know. Like you literally just never know when it's going to happen at this point. Take armed guard training at a security company. Helps you with firearms and legal issues. Also can help you get a job. That's an interesting suggestion, Mersh. That is an interesting suggestion. Yeah. So, with all that said, I will also say it's really important to take the time to look away from the train wreck, to rest your eyes, to rest your voice, to recuperate, because you will not be able to keep coming out here fighting for our rights if you are burnt out. So you need to take the time. I need to take the time. This is coming from me to you. This stream is about to come to an end because I need to like unwind from this. We're going to have the holiday this week, and I think that we all need to like let ourselves just relax for a weekend or so. I'm going to come back to streaming on Sunday as per usual, but I do need to take a bit of a break. And so I'm just going to let myself do that. I'm going to watch a silly movie with my person tonight and bake pies and stuff all day tomorrow. Like that's what I'm going to do. So thank you all for cutting onions with me tonight. I appreciate you hanging out and being here to support each other. You know, God bless, or whatever you say when you're an atheist and death is the end of everything, you know? Anyway, love you all, and we'll see you on Sunday.